Welcome to the banks of the St. Joseph River here in the northernmost part of Indiana, the Hoosier State in South Bend, Indiana. Finn, the loudmouth for the American Cornhole Organization, side by side with the Mississippi Ninja here at center court, where we have the second best seats in the house, as we always like to say, Philip, bringing you the best seats in the house. And we join what is always a lot of fun to watch, believe it or not, even though it's you just playing against one's own self. These frame games is the qualifier for our third Pro Series out of 35 majors for the ACO.
Yeah, and we're talking about 61 pros here. This Pro Series is growing by leaps and bounds. Every time we have one, we get more and more pros showing up, trying to get to that big prize money that we're throwing out there for the top 16 out of 60-something that's going to make it to the main bracket here.
Yeah, 60 of them vying for a 16-slot final bracket. And as Shawn Preece continues here on center court throwing his frame game, we will do our best to keep you updated on his score. Right now it looks like he is at a 34.
Yeah, his last couple rounds hadn't been what he was looking for, and there's another bag off, just another 7.
Off the back, so that takes that 7. And again, the whole idea of the frame game is a way to seed and qualify for those top 16. And right now, sitting in the number 1 qualifier seat is Bob Heil, is probably to no one's surprise. He threw a 146 out of a perfect potential 156, which we have yet to see just yet. 13 frames, 4 bags per frame, 52 bags total with a possible 156 perfect store. And our friends at Upstage Cornhole have thrown down a $1,000 bounty for anybody throwing upstage bags who gets that perfect game. So we have yet to see that. So right now it looks like a pretty good investment for their money.
Absolutely.
A lot of juice.
Hey, tell you what, we had one come very, very close when we were in Panama City.
Douglas Parker.
Yeah, but he was not throwing the upstage bags. He was throwing the same thing that Mr. Preece is throwing right here on center court over the top.
Those are TTs. Yeah, he's throwing the Sheriffs. I think Parker was throwing the Convicts.
He
threw the 153 out of 156.
He was throwing the cell blocks, and he switched to the Convicts. I couldn't believe that.
That's right, yeah. But he was lighting it up, and I think it was his first bag in the 11th of 13 frames that he went Orion off the back. It did relieve a little bit of pressure, but it did leave him with work to do, and he did get 153 out of potential 156. Will anybody have that perfect game this season? We have no idea.
I'm thinking yes.
You think so?
You, Finn, and Frank all think no. I am thinking somebody. I was watching Gary Bearpaw over here, and he's such a machine, but he was throwing 10s.
Yeah, well, he's got a 144 hanging right now in the second qualifying spot behind Heil. Caleb Hertz, a 144. Derek Williams bumped down with his 143. Austin Thomason at a 142. Boy, Riley Brewster and Craig Irvin at 138 and 136 respectively. Brock Beasley, 135. Tony Pena tied with him at 135. Aaron Candler now holding the number 10 spot at 134. But Brian Jones, Isaac Hurt hanging tenuously there at that 134. Very similar to how he was in Panama City Beach after taking the number 1 qualifier spot in Charleston, West Virginia.
He'll be over here putting the hoodoo on some bags before long.
You know he will. That's what he was
doing at the table.
He did in PCB. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Priest tries to grab one and take it in there with him to bump his score up right now. He's sitting on an 80 at this point.
Yeah, Priest has had a little struggle. But to his attestment, he had to be up here early at 7 o'clock this morning to help set this building up.
I'll tell you what, it was a Herculean effort put in by a handful of ACO family and friends. And we got in at 7 o'clock this morning, had everything ready to roll by 9:15.
Dude, that was awesome, man.
Unbelievable.
Awesome.
Full room full of boards. I think 36 courts in the other room, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, including center court in this room. So
56.
We got this bad boy up and underway. We'll have our women's, juniors, and seniors finals here on center court in just a little while. And at 5 o'clock, the Pro Series, that bracket of 16, fires up, and we will be ready to crown another champion. Now, will it be Caleb Hurt again, or will this be his third of 3?
Tell you what, he's trying to go for a clean sweep. You think anybody can make a clean sweep on all these? There's only one guy that has the possibility.
I'll tell you what.
Caleb Hurt.
Caleb Hurt. He's 2 for 2 right now. So let's see. So Bob Heil is still sitting at the top at a 146 right now. Let's see, what else can we find out here? I want to find out if anybody else has bumped up that list. Right now, Craig Irvin, our reigning king, I said, is at 136, so he looks like to be above the cut line. The cut line looks like right now it's going to be right around 131, maybe 132. So Preece finishes out. What was his finish there? 105. All right, Shawn Preece, probably not what he was hoping for, but again, he's had a lot going on today, and every one of our pros has stepped up to a set of boards. And boy, I tell you what, it does work on your head when it's just you, 4 bags, 13 frames. But we will have a little bit more center court action here as we bring our next frame game over here in just a moment. But yeah, live from South Bend here at the convention center, right across the street from where pretty much everybody's staying. So there was a lot of bags being thrown last night in the hotel lobby, to the point where the guy at the front desk was like, "Yep, cornhole folk."
they're back.
They're back.
They're back.
3rd year in a row here in South Bend, and looking forward to many more years to come. I'm Finn the Loudmouth for the ACO. Philip Barnett, the Mississippi Ninja, here on center court. More action throughout the course of the entire weekend coming up on the ACO Digital Network.
Gentlemen, the show is about to begin.
This just in, ACO has announced that Season 18 World Championships will be held in the beautiful Owensboro, Kentucky. Yes, Owensboro, Kentucky. If that's not exciting enough, they've also guaranteed a purse of $75,000. Yes, $75,000. That's a 7, a 5, a 0, a 0, and another 0. Now, if that's not enough to make you want to jump back and jerk a nut in your tail, I don't know what is. ACO Season 18 World Championships, Owensboro, Kentucky. We'll see you there. Now, back to your program.
These guys both out of the SVC. It is time to get their game on.
That's right, and Austin's going to start out with a block, and I think he's going to try to throw a lot of blocks against Caleb Hurt right here. But you're right, SVC, these guys play each other all the time, all the regionals. It's always a battle. One row.
This is going to be the battle. I mean, I feel like General Patton put this together. There's going to be a ground assault and an air assault.
I mean,
you're going to roll those tanks, and then you're going to airmail. It's insane. And this is the best right here. This frame right here could be outstanding.
Wow.
Outstanding.
That's all you can say is wow.
That's one of that. You know what? That is easily one of the best frames you've ever seen, because they both did what they're best at over and over and over again. And at some point, we need to clip that out and show that as an instructional video to be sure.
Couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, 'cause you know that I was born for this. I was born for this.
right, back to South Bend, Indiana, the American Cornhole Organization. It is our South Bend Major and Pro Series number 3 of 10, and you find yourselves sitting with yours truly, the loudmouth of the ACO. I'm Finn, Philip Barnett, the Mississippi Ninja. Right next to me, a long drive, a couple hours of sleep under your belt. And Here we are at center court for the frame game, which is the qualifier for the Pro Series bracket of 16, which fires up in earnest today around 5 p.m. 60 pros in from all over the country. Todd Gammon right now stands up, and he is firing as he is ready. So we will keep an eye on him. He starts with that 10 spot in frame number 1, so that perfect game already.
Shot.
Doesn't have to worry about that. But he said he wasn't ready for center court. I disagree. I think anybody with the name Gammon on the back of their jersey is ready for center court any time. So he throws that 10 on the first frame. And again, that perfect game is still very elusive, Philip.
Yes, it is. And like I said, I thought Gary Bearpaw would have a very good chance here today, and I was watching him out there on that first court over there. First bag, off to the right. There goes your chance.
All right, another 10 on top of that in frame number 2. And again, for those just joining us, it is 4 by 13, basically 13 frames, 4 bags. It's you against you of 156 is the magic number for that perfect game. Upstage Cornhole has said, you know what? We're confident in our bags. You want to throw some upstage bags and you get a perfect game, we'll throw an extra $1,000 at you. So that $1,000 bounty is out there from upstage, and any one of our 60 bag manufacturing partners is welcome to get in on the fun.
Bring it on, man. Over the top. Anybody, you're an IMF guy. Anybody that wants to do it, man.
All right, you got to like that 12.
There you go.
To build upon. And again, we're looking at Bob Heil right now sitting at a 146 out of 156, one of the better scores that we've seen. Gary Bearpaw in tight behind him at a 144, and Caleb Hurt, our Pro Series champion in the first of the 2 Pro Series. He's 2 for 2 so far. Can he make the hat trick? I don't know. We'll find out tonight starting around 5 o'clock as that bracket of 16 fires up, and some 60 pros came in here firing up to go after those 16 slots, and they've got plenty of cornhole to play through the course of the weekend, but I'll tell you what, I know everybody wants an extra shot at that extra bonus purse money here in South Bend. So there's going to be another 10 spot.
Yeah.
That's going to bring
you spoke too soon. He pushed and got a 12 there, Phil. Come on.
Nicely done. Nicely done. I made an injudicious
Can you spell
tally.
that?
Nope.
Okay, good. Hey, I wanted to make a point that we have the list here of how they're thrown. Isn't it funny how the cream has rose to the top, right?
Yeah, it always
has risen to the top.
It always does.
You know, look, you got names we've been hearing all year. The Bearpaw, Bob Howe. Last year we heard him. We hadn't had him a whole lot this year because we hadn't been in this area. Caleb Hurt. Austin Thomason is his name that just keeps popping up, finished second at the Worlds last year. Another 10 for Todd Gammon as we're talking here. You see the king. He's right there. So, I mean.
Yeah, Craig Irvin right now sitting on a 136.
And let me tell you something. You think these guys, they come in here ready to throw 13 frames, okay? You think if this Pro Series wasn't going on, they go out in their yard and practice the 13 frames? I've talked to several guys. Said, man, I practiced the other day. I threw a 134. I threw a 136 at home, you know? So these guys are taking this thing really, really serious as we are.
Yeah, well, and I would tell you, too, if you're watching and you're trying to figure out a way to measure your skill level versus some of these players, and a good way to practice if you want to practice, this is how you do it. You get out there and you play the ghost, if you will. You get set yourself up on Scoreholio and you set it up and play and figure out exactly what you can do. And it's a good way to practice all the different shots, like that push shot right there from Todd.
Yeah, Todd is starting out really good. Oh, and somebody put the brakes on that one.
All right, so that takes him to a total of 64 now. And again, we've probably got a handful of different courts open up right now, that Pro Series zone where other pros are overthrowing their frame games right now. But Brian Jones, Isaac Hurt, T-Bone, Terry Dawson, Des Stevenson, Spencer Garner, all the big names. Michael Chittenden just threw here on center court, threw a 131 not that long ago.
Michael's a good guy, too. And he thinks that's a bag he probably can get right here.
Oh,
there it is. He's talking to it, too, now.
I'll tell you what. Todd, there
you go, Todd.
Throws that 12 on top there, takes his total to a 76. And Todd was the inventor of what we call that piggyback bag.
Absolutely.
The one that bounces off the front bag that's hanging on the front side of the hole, drops the bag he throws, and that other one follows right in there and piggybacks his way in. Always fun to have a new name for a new shot.
Absolutely.
And again, South Bend, Indiana is where we find ourselves for the American Cornhole Organization Major and Pro Series. Pro Series number 3 out of 10 that have been assigned to 35 majors throughout the country this year.
Uh-oh. And that's one you're going to want to have back a little later. If you get pushed out by 1 point and you think about that bag, you'll be thinking about that bag right there for 2 weeks.
Yes, sir. He's through 8 frames right now. Frame number 9, he's holding on to an 85. That's his total score.
But he came out here smoking on fire with those game-ons he's throwing.
Well, he can put another 60 points up if he wants to here.
Yeah.
That'll make that 145 look pretty good.
Yeah, he's playing really, really well right now.
That would sandwich him right between Heil and Bear Paw.
That'd be a good place to be.
146 and 44, it sure would, unless, of course, that's your draw.
Yeah.
All right, so there's the 12 right there. There's the first. He's got 4 frames left. See if he can put another 48 on top of that. Didn't think I'd be able to do math this early on Black Friday.
You're
but
rolling with the math, man. You don't even have a calculator out, man.
I can't do 3s and 1s, but I can do 12s. Oh, goodness. Finn the Loudmouth for the ACO sitting right behind the official scorer here on center court. Frank Ears, the cornhole dude, furiously working to get this room set up from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. this morning. And I'll tell you what, I think that was about 6 hours worth of stop motion work done.
I'm going to tell you what, I can't talk.
2.5 hours.
I can't talk enough about how good a job you guys did this morning. I'm not going to lie to you. And as a player, much appreciated, that's for sure.
Well, I tell you what, it wasn't as if we weren't having a few eyeballs on the back of our head waiting.
Yeah.
People were itching and not so much bitching, but mostly itching just to get out and start pitching and warm up.
Yeah, I walk in the room at 8:30, and I think, okay, well, there probably won't be that many people. I couldn't even find a board.
That's the way we like it.
Yeah.
That's the way we like it. All right. And then throughout the course of the day, we'll have here on center court our juniors, our women's, and our seniors finals as well, and then the Pro Series bracket of 16
Nice.
will fire up.
That's a nice 12.
16.
Man. And Todd's trying to make a case here now.
All right, so that takes him to a 119. He's got 2 frames left. He's at 119, so he can put another 24 on top of this.
And get in the 140s.
143.
140 is going to be good. I was going to see if you could get that math quick.
141.
I thought it was 142.
What, 19 plus
24.
143. I was right before, 143.
You were right.
I should never, ever second guess myself, Philip.
Not the math wizard that you are.
I know better than that. Oh, goodness.
That's a good-looking jersey Mr. Frank's got on sitting in front of us with the cornhole dude behind it. There's one of the 12s.
All right, there's another 12 spot there for Todd.
And Todd sitting at 131 right now. You know he's gonna move into the middle of that pack if he throws anything less than an 8 and move up toward the top if he can finish off.
I tell you what, if he throws anything less than an 8, you might as well go start his car for him.
Yeah, he's not going to be a happy guy. That's what I'm sure.
He's thrown those blueprint bags, those game-ons. I do believe they were named after the Gammons, the game-ons. That's what we decided we were going to call them from
there.
Now
It is. Talk to it, Todd. Yes.
Worked it right in there, so he's got a 12 spot there.
143.
That's going to do it. That's a 143.
Hey,
Nicely done.
I'm glad I got to witness that. Todd is one of the characters in the game around here. Good
He
job,
sure
Todd.
Well done. All right. Well, you know what? We'll expect to see more and more of that. Is anybody going to get him bumped down that list behind? Because he's now tied with Derek Williams. Or no, 143 with Derek Williams. He's a little bit ahead of the aforementioned Austin Thompson. Riley Brewster sitting at 138. The reigning king, Craig Irvin, at 136. And Brock Beasley and Tony Pena tied at 135. Candler Jones, Isaac Hurt, Terry Dawson all holding together at 134. That cut line looks like it could be right around 132.
And it's moving down.
Right
you know,
now.
the more these guys like Todd Gammon steps up and throws in the 140, that's someone that's going to drop down out of the 16.
All right, and we'll see if anybody is able to put together a perfect game. Doug Parker, very close at a 153 out of potential 156 in Panama City Beach. Will someone do it here on center court? We'll find out when we come back. Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO, the American Cornhole Organization, side by side with the Mississippi Ninja. Looking forward to a big weekend of killer cornhole right here in South Bend, Indiana on the ACO Digital Network.
Gentlemen, the show is about to begin.
This just in, ACO has announced that Season 18 World Championships will be held in the beautiful Owensboro, Kentucky. Yes, Owensboro, Kentucky. If that's not exciting enough, they've also guaranteed a purse of $75,000. Yes, $75,000. That's a 7, a 5, a 0, a 0, and another 0. Now, if that's not enough to make you want to jump back and jerk a nut in your tail, I don't know what is. ACO Season 18 World Championships, Owensboro, Kentucky. We'll see you there. Now, back to your program.
These guys both out of the SVC. It is time to get their game on.
That's right, and Austin's going to start out with a block, and I think he's going to try to throw a lot of blocks against Caleb Hurt right here. But you're right, SVC, these guys play each other all the time, all the regionals. It's always a battle. One roll.
This is going to be the battle. I mean, it's like I feel like General Patton put this together. There's going to be a ground assault and an air assault.
I mean,
you're going to roll those tanks, and then you're going to airmail. It's insane. And this is the best right here. This frame right here could be outstanding.
Wow.
Outstanding.
That's all you can say is wow.
That's one of that. You know what? That is easily one of the best frames you've ever seen because they both did what they're best at over and over and over again. And at some point, we need to clip that out and show that as an instructional video to be sure.
Couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, cause you know that I was born for this. I was born.
Back to center court, South Bend, Indiana. The American Cornhole Organization Major and Pro Series Tournament is on since early this morning. Frame Games have been fired up with our pros fighting for one of those 16 spots in the final Pro Series that kicks off today at 5 o'clock here on center court. Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO, with Philip Barnett, the Mississippi Ninja. And anytime you see the Pucketts, you know you are in serious business. And you could be in serious trouble. Chase Puckett steps up onto center court, drops 12 in right out the chute out of 13 frames with 4 bags each. 52 bags, 156 potential score. Will he throw the perfect frame game?
He's got an opportunity. He started out with a 12. How about that?
Yes, he did. He's throwing the pitch bag sidewinders and feeling pretty confident about that.
Yeah.
I think these are pretty hole-friendly right here. He should be able to grab that one to the right side. But again, 4 bags, 12 possible points, 13 frames, 156 is the holy grail. Oh, he goes up and over and he tries.
He went for it.
He did. You got to love that. That was an aggressive 10 spot that he just put together right there. But Chase and Megan make a great team. She in her own right is coming in on fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
As well for this tournament. I know you picked her as one of your your time to fill picks for the course of the weekend for women and maybe in a couple of other
she
divisions.
Made a good run in singles in Panama City. You look up, keep looking up, her name just keeps moving up that bracket. So I mean, and out here supporting her man, that's for sure.
Oh, and he went up and did the exact same frame right there. Tried to airmail drag and ends up with that 10 spot. But that takes a little bit of the pressure off, I suppose.
It does.
When you're not have to worry about that 156. Gary Bearpaw sitting on a 144, and you saw Todd Gammon step up and had a couple of rough frames, but he still threw out 143, puts him up in the should be the make the cut portion of the program.
Absolutely. Man, I tell you what, Chase is one of those Alabama guys that
Great
they
shot.
just keep coming from everywhere. They're like a bunch of gnats. You slap 2 Alabama guys off, and 3 come get on top of you, man. What are you talking about?
Well, something's got to make up for the football season that they're having, I suppose.
I know, man, Finn, you're going to get somebody mad about that comment.
I don't care. I don't care. Dude, I'm a Louisville Cardinal fan. You know what their basketball record is right now?
Yeah, I do. I follow it real close.
Goose egg and a half a dozen on the L's. So I've got no room to talk, but I do it anyway. That's what they pay me for.
Absolutely.
Chase sitting on a 44 after 4 frames. He's got that bag sitting there again. He's going to step out a little bit instead of trying to maybe airmail it, see if he can drag it in off the front.
He got it.
Put it in a better
that
position.
bag is going home. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Steps in just about a half step, takes that one up the middle, should be able to pull it right in with him, and
Perfect.
he does. Nicely done. 12 spot right there. Takes him to a 56. Again, throwing the sidewinders, the pitch bag sidewinders.
He's got 2 10s and 3 12s so far. That'll get you some money hunt sometime.
Not bad. Not
Absolutely.
bad at all. And throughout the course of the weekend, we'll have lots of great finals matches, maybe some semi and quarterfinal matches here on Center Court. I invite you to tune in throughout the course of the weekend. Go ahead and check. Oh, boy, that one off the backside. That's going to be rough right there. He should be able to pull this in or probably push this one in from the left to right up the center. There he goes. Does just that. But that one off the back is going to haunt him for a moment. This should be a 9 spot, and it is.
Way to recover, though. Yeah, you got that one frame. If you can go back to throwing 10s and 12s, I think you're in pretty good shape.
Well, Todd Gammon had one of those in frame number 8.
Yeah.
It took him till frame number 8 to get to a 9 spot. Chase grabs his at in frame number 6. He works on 7, so he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frames left to go.
Chase just popped on the scene last year. I remember seeing him a couple of years at a regional when he first started playing at Linda Ogilvie runs down there in Tipton County. And first time I met him, and good people, and man, he's turned himself into a really nice player. That's for sure.
All right, 9 holding on,
Yeah,
12
there you
holds
go.
on. There he goes. He drips that one in on the backside. He's got a little bit of if you're a Yellowstone fan, a little bit of a Rip vibe working there.
There you go,
under
man.
the lid of his hat. I bought myself one of those cowboy-looking hats just because I kind of wear the beard sometimes similarly, but my beard grows in a little different color.
I think you might want to get that black magic marker out and help it out a little bit there, bro.
No, but we came up with a new nickname for me when I put that hat on, and I got my big fat cheeks with my gray beard. I'm a Rip Monk.
Rip monk.
That one's out of place,
That's
so we're
nice.
going to have to leave that one hang out there. So we just go back and
Yeah.
finish this one here. Take those 9 underneath and 1 on top for a 10 spot, and that takes him to a aggregate total of 87 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames left. So a 60 on top of that would be a 147. That
There you
wouldn't
go.
be bad. He'd be one point on top of Bob Heil, who sits high above the leaderboard at a 146. Gary Bearpaw not that far behind at a 144. Caleb Hurd also threw that 144, as you might expect. Isaac Hurd continues to bump down the list right now, holding at a 134.
You know, and so far, this Pro Series, the names you just mentioned, is shaping up to be one for the ages because all the good players are making this top 16.
I'll tell you what, you look at Riley Brewster, Austin Thomason, Todd Gammon, Derek Williams, Craig Irvin, our reigning king. He sits in the 8 spot right now, holding a 136. Brock Beasley, Tony Pena, Aaron Candler, Brian Jones. We haven't seen Jonesy in a minute, but he stepped up and got the job done. He threw a 134. He holds
to go.
at 134 with quite a few. Now there's one that's pushed off to the side, so the best he can hope for now is a 10 spot.
10.
That seems to be his modus operandi so far.
Yeah, but he's still got a chance. No. This is where I don't know if you want to chase this or not.
I think you just take what you
I think with a name like Chase, you probably should chase that bag off of there.
Oh, he's going to do it.
Oh, and that's a 5.
And I think right there he said something that rhymes with his last name, not his first
I
name.
think he did too. That's for sure. Matter of fact, I might have said it for him almost.
Yeah,
That
you
hurts.
let me know so I can hit the mute button. All right.
They still get 24, 126, right?
Sitting on a 92 right now.
Yeah, that 5 spot will really haunt him the rest of the day because Best he can do is what, 126? And huh? Oh, he's got 3 frames left. So he can still slide in there. You can't do it doing 10s though. These next 2 frames, he has to finish with 12s.
All right, okay. I was a little bit behind there, so now he's sitting on a
112 with 2
112,
frames.
so
136
possible.
could get him in there. And I don't know how long it'll hold up.
holding up there with the current king right there at 136.
Man, it's funny to watch all those guys gather around the TV out there, seeing if their place is going to hold or not. That's how popular this thing has gotten.
That's a lot of fun, this pro zone in here, too. You see over
Yeah.
there by the Hampton Farms banner is a nice little getaway area, and pros can get up and get a nice little warm-up in the course of, over the course of the morning. Oh, is it going to fall back? It looks like it wants to come back. But
Come on back,
if I was him, I would hop down there like a bunny rabbit, see what I could make happen before I got down there.
You think Frank could turn his head for just 1 second, that bag might fall.
That's the ACO bag.
Yeah.
All right, so can he?
No, and it's not
That's
going to
going
be
to be rough.
good.
That's not going to get it done right there.
Yeah, that's going to probably eliminate him. That one bag just right there.
When I tell you it's tough just to step up on a
It
set of
is.
boards and do this no matter where you're doing, but when you're standing here and all eyes are focused on you, that 10 spot is going to finish him up at a 132. 132 is the finish right now. That puts him right there with Brandon Earls and Kyle Anderson. Is that going to be the cut line, though? 132 could be the
It's
cut line the way
close.
we're
It's
looking
gonna
at it
be
right now, because
close.
that's right where Earls is a 132, so that's a 16. Now, if we have ties in the top 16, where do we go, Frank, to determine the tie? Start from the front end, and we
By the
frame
bag, by the
frame.
number of bags. Yeah.
So that's how we determine what's going to happen and what's going to happen next year on center court. There's only one way to find out. You got to
Tune
come
back
back
in.
and stay tuned, and we'll get more of it for you. We'll have a lot of great finals here on center court throughout the course of the day, but thanks again to the folks here in South Bend, Indiana for the hospitality year in and year out. You can watch for us if you're here locally on Channel 16 Sports tonight. They came by to say hello. Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO, side by side with the Mississippi Ninja, Philip Barnett. Are you going to hang around for a little while?
I'll hang around one more. We got any more here?
I think we got a couple more coming possibly here to center court. We'll find out if the juniors are ready to roll, and we may have a final coming up. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be back to center court, South Bend, Indiana, American Cornhole Organization Major and Pro Series number 3 on the ACO Digital Network.